And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Melody, and this is my dad. We're reviewing The Exodus.
The Exodus, based on the Bible story of when Moses and all the people fled from Egypt and then Pharaoh chased them down. It comes in a tin that's inside the sleeve. You don't need the sleeve, I guess. The tin is pretty good quality, actually. The sleeve makes it look cool. It's a two-player game where one person is Pharaoh and one person is Moses. Let's take a look at how it plays. At the beginning of the game, you're going to place these tiles randomly. There's 9 tiles, and you'll place one in each corner, one in the middle of each side, and one in the middle. And 3 of these tiles represent the people of Israel. 1 represents Pharaoh. 1 represents a pillar of fire and a pillar of clouds over here. And then 1 is an impasse tile. Each player is also given one of these impasse tiles for their hands. You will have a whole pile of tiles that players will, you can sort them out and make them neat stacks. It doesn't really matter. Each player is going to draw 3 of these tiles and the game begins. Now, one player is chosen to be Pharaoh, the other player is chosen to be Moses. On your turn, you play a tile on the board. And most of these tiles that are played, as you can see, have roads on them. Now, when you attach these roads, you must attach them so that the roads connect to each other. You can't attach a tile like this here, which has a road going into nothing. That doesn't work. You can run roads off the side of the board, and you can even make roads run away from the special tiles as long as they're coming from a road that's from far away. I can't just take a special tile and make it run off the board for no reason, but I can make it run off the board later on if it comes from something 2 tiles away. Now, the different tiles, there's only a few really separate tiles. There's straights, there's curves, there's these crossings. There are crossings where one bridge is over the other. There's the double curves. And so what you're trying to do, the person who is playing Moses is trying to attach one of their Israelite tiles to one of the haven of safety tiles. So in this case, it hasn't been connected yet, but if I did this, and then this, it's connected, and I win the game. Pharaoh is trying to connect any one of these tiles to his tile. If he does that, he wins the game. Pharaoh also wins the game if all the people of Israel tiles, all 3 of them, are connected somehow. Pharaoh also wins the game if no more tiles can be put on the board. I haven't seen this one happen yet, but I suppose it can. The pillar of fire and the pillar of clouds, depending on where they are basically just warp tiles. When you move to one of those and you connect to this one, it's as if you're connecting to this one. So you could go straight over to here and then come out of here. And that affects both Moses and Pharaoh. And these impasse tiles, these can't be gone through, and since players have one, you can use it for 2 different things. You can discard it from your hand to draw 3 new tiles, or you can play one on the board just to stop a path, and nothing can go through that spot. And that's the game. Basically, one of the players is going to win after a certain amount of time, then you can switch sides and play again, and whoever wins best out of 3 matches or whatever is the winner of the Exodus. Alright, this is what we call an asymmetrical game in a sense because the 2 players are not trying to do the same thing. It's not like chess where both sides have the exact same, one person's trying to take the other one. Now you play the same way, but your goals are different. So what did you think of this?
I thought it was really fun trying to connect the paths together and either connecting the Moses leaving Egypt back to Pharaoh or to the Red Sea, or trying to connect to the pillar of fire or cloud. I thought it was really nice how they did put the pillar of fire and cloud into it, and how there's people on the path.
Okay, well let's the game has cool artwork, that's for sure, and the little paths. The theme of the game is kind of odd because I really don't think Moses and the people of Israel went around in loops and followed tunnels in all different directions until they found the right spot. Although they were lost in the wilderness for 40 years. Maybe that's what that's saying. The game itself is really fast. We're talking less than 10 minutes per game.
Maybe not this complex.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, the back of the box shows paths all over the board. That's not going to happen because you're going to go boop, 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 and many times you're like boop, and then your opponent goes connection, and you're like, oh, did not think about that. And you may not have the tiles that you need sometimes. That happens occasionally. So do you keep the hand to get rid of the tiles and keep 3, or to stop your opponent from connection? I almost always think it's better to keep it to stop your opponent because sometimes you just need to stop them.
Yeah.
But it's a cute little game. I don't think there's a ton of depth and strategy in here, but it works fine and it plays very quickly and it has a unique theme. What are your final thoughts?
Good game.
Good game. Well, that's succinct. So, The Exodus, this is from Game Sapiens from Korea. If you can find a copy of it, it's a pretty cool little game, The Exodus.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
When there's so much entertainment in the world, I don't know why anyone would choose the Dice Tower.